Former acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker. Matthew's also a legal board member at America First and the author of Above the Law. Great to see you as always.
Good to be with you today.
You know, maybe the Bidens think they're above the law because this has been going on for years. What a moment today, Matthew. Tony Bobulinski finally getting his day in front of Congress. His testimony could answer, as we know, a lot of questions with this impeachment inquiry. We just talked about the $5 million, but a face-to-face meeting with Joe Biden in 2017. Is this the one that sticks? I know that they've been, getting a lot of testimony, but he seems to be one of the most, if not the most important figure in all of this.
Yeah, he certainly is. Obviously, he knows a lot of the Biden's business dealings, especially during the vice presidency and immediately thereafter. He sat in this very important meeting in 2017 on the sidelines of the Milken Conference in Los Angeles and met with former vice president at the time, Joe Biden, met with Jim Biden and Hunter Biden, and they talked about this very important deal with China, with a Chinese energy company that has since gone bankrupt. That's where the whole 10% for the big guy held by Hunter. And so Tony obviously knows a lot of what's going on in this situation. And I think he can help connect the dots for the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees.
Why do you think it's been suppressed for so long for what he's wanted to say? He's just wanted to come out and give his side to all of this. And it's been years, Matthew.
Well, obviously, the Bidens have not cooperated with this House investigation. There's never been a forum for him to talk. The FBI seems uninterested in these transactions. And so getting these documents from the Bidens and from the banks that the Bidens did business with, trying to unravel all of these LLCs. They had approximately 20 limited liability companies that shielded Joe Biden from these transactions, yet funneled money, it appears, to him. In fact, Tony Bobulinski says that these complicated LLC schemes were purposefully for plausible deniability on behalf of Joe Biden.
Well, it'll be incredible to see the readout of the testimony. Of course, as we know, full transparency from Congressmen Comer, Jordan, and Smith won't be long before we see this. I want to get your reaction to some big news happening with Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. The judge, Scott McAfee, saying yesterday she may actually be disqualified altogether from Trump's case there because of the relationship, a conflict of interest, a major one with Nathan Wade. And he says there's enough that he needs to assess the disqualification. There's a hearing on Thursday. What a role reversal. She will have to be the one testifying in front of this judge. How much of a chance do you think it is that she gets booted from this case? And then where does it go?
Yeah, I think there's a good chance she gets booted from the case. Remember, she's going to be under oath and subject to perjury. And so she's going to have to be accurate with her recollections of the facts. And then that's going to possibly open up potential discovery where what she says could be impeached. And so with all of this as a context, you're going to see the prosecution probably be very distracted with trying to defend their boss in this case. And remember, the allegations are pretty inflammatory, and that is she paid her love interest more money than he was worth, and they used that money that was COVID funds to some extent from the federal government to go on lavish vacations and cruises and the like. And so, she's going to have to actually say what the facts were and then be subject to, if she lies, some perjury. And then ultimately the judge could decide to take her off the case if there's too big of a conflict.
It's going to be very closely watched. There are whistleblowers already who are going to come forward to testify that their relationship started a long time ago before she hired him, which is something she is taking notice with. And of course, there's also the billable hours with the White House that Nathan Wade had. A whole layer to this. Going to be an interesting week. Matthew Whitaker, a pleasure to have you, sir, as always.
Good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Take good care.